We are just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Los Angeles Chargers. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. Here's Desmond King on the return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. And that'll set them back 5. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Rivers going to turn and give this one to his running back, Gordon. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
Well, you think 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9.
Hey, go Orange. Orange. Hey, Rocket. Let's go. Hurry up.
From the gun, Rivers. He's got a man. It's Williams. That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Larry Ogunjobi there to make the tackle. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Buffalo wall, 0. Hurry up!
On 3rd down, Rivers. Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
run for the first time with Johnson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Here we go now. Green.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Top-ranked kids love the idea that they might go in the first round. But sometimes you fall into the right situation when you don't. I think that happened for Uchenna Nwosu out of USC. He went to the Chargers, a team that gets after the quarterback with Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram. Now he can do the exact same thing from his outside linebacker position. We just saw him get it done right there.
And the Chargers' temporary home, the StubHub Center in Carson, California. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Robert Ayers in there to sack him for a loss of 6. And with a 3rd and 14, we have 6 defensive backs out there now defensively.
Back out of Philly. Here we go.
Play fake. Mayfield. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. He got 29 yards that time.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Now Gordon on first down. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Rivers steps away. And some room to roam now. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Here we go.
Now Rivers going to give it off to Gordon. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Hurry up.
On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Back now to begin the 2nd quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. 3rd and 11. And some extra depth to the secondary here. They're in the dime. Rivers. And this is going to be incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Rivers is going to stay out there. They're going to try for this thing on 4th down.
Red. Yo, Rocky. 12. 1 12.
Working out of the gun, Rivers. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this Browns defense stands tall. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. Baker Mayfield, obviously the #1 pick overall. That was controversial, though. What ultimately made the Browns go in his way?
Well, post-draft, I did hear a Browns executive talk about the efficacy of Baker Mayfield. In other words, how people rally to him, how people respond to him. He talked about seeing him at a workout, how he showed up, yelled out to the other guys. They yelled back with the same response, ran right to him, and they were ready to start the workout. He said things like that and his talent tipped the balance in his favor to go #1.
Leopard!
2nd down, Mayfield. Eluding the pressure right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. On 3rd down, Johnson. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 4th down. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe
try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception #1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
This throw caught right around the 6. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
He did. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from the 1.
Lucky 56.
They get it to him running left. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Duke Johnson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6. Well, that turned out how they wanted. Run the toss play to the left side, go for that pylon, get in there.
And just being able to understand where the pylon was and sneak it in there, well done, well executed.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Chargers. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Throwing Rivers. Being chased out left. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
12. Let's go.
On 3rd down, Rivers. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Travis Carey. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Following the interception, Mayfield. His throw caught right around the 6. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. David Njoku, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. And it's up and good. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays.
And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. Larry Ogunjobi coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Second down, Rivers. Buying time to his left. Hits his running back, Melvin Gordon. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
2 big plays in succession of the Chargers on the move.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And shedding the tackle, and now some room. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Orange. 0.
First down, Rivers. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
A second down throw for Rivers. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Emmanuel Ogbah. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Here we go. Room.
From the shotgun, it's Rivers. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
I think someone's going to give him the QB1-0 when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That would be the second person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, second drive, not much better. Well, the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on 4th down.
Let's go.
Here's Rivers. And Allen's got it. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers are able to make this a close game again. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't over. This game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Oh, well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. This will be fielded at the 8. Well, a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, Make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. They go play action here on first down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney. Here we go now.
They go back to the ground with Johnson, and he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 4 yards on the pickup, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. On 3rd and 1, here's Mayfield. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. And likely time for one. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. This will be fielded at the 8. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Leopard! Leopard! Detroit! Detroit! No. Check. Patriot! Patriot!
Now a 2nd down throw for Mayfield. Underneath for Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A very solid gain of 27.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Mayfield now on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
The Browns on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, though, if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
No. Check. Patriot! Patriot!
Now a play fake here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Joey Bosa in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Working out of the gun. Mayfield. Forced out to his left. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Joey Bosa in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. First and second down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big.
Watch him now, Barney!
Mayfield on play action. Out to his left. Looking left side. He's got it. Complete. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And picked up by the Chargers. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a
Let's go.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.